So when I was asked to be with you, the title, Getting Real About Relevance, Our Value Through the Eyes of Others, existed. And here's sort of what was defined as the premise. How our orchestras can matter more in today's world, how orchestras can employ the music we make to address community needs, how orchestras can help provide what the public values, and how we can develop relationships with the community that enable us to be involved in meaningful ways. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. I tried to break it down a little bit and started with relevance. What does it mean? And what we focus on at the center is the following idea, that relevance is relationship and relationship is listening. So what I kind of want to talk about for a moment is the act of listening in regard to what does it take to know the needs of others and how do we learn what the public values. And then we wanted to ask this question. In what ways do we, orchestras, listen to the public with the same quality and behaviors of attention we ask them to give us when they are in our spaces listening to our music? I don't have an answer to that question, but that question is sort of the question of these next minutes that we have together. I want to also kind of premise us by asking this. I'd like to ask if we can agree to a few things before we start this conversation up here. Orchestras can be transformative and life-affirming, yeah? It's just sort of, we will say that here before we have a conversation about relevance. This we believe, this we know. Virtuosic orchestral accomplishment is meaningful. Young people are better off with arts education and exposure to great art. Yes, we'll agree? Yes. We will agree so much that we will applaud that. Yes. Communities benefit from successful arts organizations in lots of ways. In economic ways, in social binding ways, in intrinsic values ways. Great art makes places more livable and more great. Yes? Yes, we agree with that. We don't have to reiterate it. So we don't need to spend a lot of our panel time today reiterating these things. We know these things are true. I will also suggest, because those things are also true in other arts-based not-for-profit sectors, museums, theaters, dance companies, all the things I just said, all the things we believe are positives about art, about music, about orchestras in our communities, are often in collision with some other things we probably agree are challenges. Not everyone agrees with us. And we work on that a lot, yes? Okay, so that's a given. And then these issues. Issues of access, including but not limited to cost. Issues of culture, such as whether or not people feel included, invited into the buildings and norms of orchestra settings, yes? Yes. Issues of repertoire and familiarity and alienation and interest and exposure, yes? These are all sort of in the realm of these are real challenges. Which brings us back to what does it take to know the needs of others? How do we learn what the public values? And in what ways do we listen to the public with the same quality and behaviors of attention we ask them to give us when they are in our spaces listening to our music?